I was bopping along, dancing through the street on my way to pick up some groceries when I noted that the entirety of the sidewalk ahead of me was cordoned off with VIP red rope. Being that I live in the 313 where shenanigans and nonsense are regular features of my life, I opted to continue bouncing to the rhythms of my cellular telephone as I kept up my epic journey to pick up those groceries. However, I broke to the cordoned off section, a large man in dark sunglasses and wearing a suit and tie standing about 6'5" stepped in front of me, folding well-muscled arms before him as he surveyed me while shaking his head like my very presence offended him. Years of continual disapproval from my mother, teachers, acquaintances, random passers-by, 93% of old dog breeds, and every single pigeon has made me almost entirely immune to such disapproval, however, rendering it little more than mortal under a duck's bridge. In short, I was entirely unfazed. I attempted to step around him, but he simply reached out an arm, grabbed me by the scruff of my neck, much like you see mother cats pick up the kittens, and deposited me back in front of him. He held out a hand expectantly, like I was supposed to have a single clue of what the fuck was going on. I gave him a low five, but this didn't seem to satisfy the large gentleman, so I instead decided to hold his hand for a little bit as he wasn't wearing knitted mittens like myself, despite the season of a chill. However, this didn't seem to satisfy him, and instead ground out the words that be passed. The gentleman sounded like he gargled cigarette butts and gravel every day for the past 20 years, such was the deepness of his voice. In short, it reminded me of my mother when I warned to him. I asked him what was going on and why I needed a VIP pass, and informed me that the 313 had unanimously voted to ensure only the most highbrow of individuals would be permitted to walk the freshly gold-painted sidewalks, while the rest would have to walk on the road, dodging traffic or being hit by it, so as to ensure the 313 maintained the pristine streets it was famous the world over for. As he was speaking, I realized we had in fact met before, both while he was working as a barman and when he was hired to kidnap me for the sexual titillations of a former congressman or something. I enthusiastically greeted him but was told he didn't remember me. An awkward moment of silence after he admitted that. I've attempted to dart past him but was once again caught by the scruff of my neck and deposited back before him. I kept attempting to fox some fiend in this way and before trying to duck under the rope, but I was caught every time. We were at an impasse, and just as I was considering braving the road, we ground out that perhaps we could come to an arrangement if I did him a favor, then maybe he'd find a VIP pass for me. I dropped to my knees and began unbuckling his trousers, but he told me that wasn't what he meant. He demanded I fetch him the golden apples of Hesperides, a wedding gift to hear from God, and protected by the great serpent ladder which he desired for the gift of immortality and perfect health they bestow upon those who number them. I agreed to his terms. Rummus and I had searched the grocery store long and hard for these apples, but he informed me they were in fact legendary items. Acquiring them would require long quests taking years, perhaps decades, of searching and killing monsters before they could be attained. When the legendary Hercules, after all, often required the help of the Titan Atlas to acquire them in the stories of him. I told him Hercules was the chumpin' that I'd acquire him some golden apples before the end of the day, but insisted I needed to go to the grocery store to stock up on provisions to aid me in this quest. He finally agreed, and I continued to do the Macarena as I made my merry way to the grocery store. Once there, I bought my usual weekly supply of various nourishing foods and food replicating items, but also procured some extra apples before jauntily dancing my way to the local hardware store to grab some paint. Sadly, they were out of regular gold paint, as it had been used up to paint the sidewalks. However, they did have some golden lead paint around, which I happily bought and used to paint extra apples of brilliant gold. I patiently waited for them to dry. Sidebar, did you know watching paint dry is boring? Makes you think. Anyway, I've been returned to the bouncer, passing in the apples and receiving my VIP pass. He began giggling to himself, chuckling that he was going to be immortal and endure a lifetime of lead exposure, or perhaps finally have more than one singular on the center of his forehead, as he began eating the apples as fast as possible. After he'd finished, he grabbed his stomach, said, "Oh, my belly feels funny," and a seizure, and died on the spot.